Happy Tuesday, Year 3. Today we're looking at bar division. So yesterday we did bar multiplication and today we're doing bar division. Now lots of you find division a little bit harder than multiplication, so let's see how we get on. So Adele makes 8 sandwiches. They look very tasty sandwiches for the salad. She wants to share the sandwiches equally between 4 plates. Okay, so she has 4 plates here and she has 8 sandwiches. So the question is, how many sandwiches should she put on each plate? We could take one sandwich at a time and add it to each plate. Okay, that's how lots of you might do it with Dean's cubes in school. It could take a long time, especially if we had lots and lots of sandwiches or lots and lots of plates. So instead, we can use division. So we know we have 8 sandwiches and we know we have 4 plates. So we're going to be doing 8 divided by 4. We've got 8 items and we want to split them into 4 groups. And we know using our multiplication fact that 4 times 2 equals 8, and it's always the inverse operation. So 8 divided by 4, we've used the 8, we've used the 4, so it must be 2. And we saw that before when we did it one at a time, that there's 2 sandwiches on each plate. Let's try another example. Liam has 15 plastic blocks. He wants to build 3 towers of equal height. Okay? The most important thing is they're equal height, so there must be the same amount of blocks in each tower. So we know we have 15 blocks and we know we want 3 towers. So we're going to be doing 15 divided by 3. We know 3 times what equals 15? I hope you're shouting out 5. So therefore we know 15 divided by 3 is 5. And we can see the towers being created there, and we can see that they're exactly equal height. So we can use cubes to model the number of items altogether. Let's look at an example. There are 20 pencils in a box. The teacher wants to share them between 5 children. So how many pencils does each child get? So we have 20 pencils, so there are 20 items, and we've got 20 cubes here. Okay, unfortunately I can't make it go faster. We're gonna have to watch them all go on one by one. 20 cubes. Now we have to think about the number of groups. Now I know a child isn't a group, but we're splitting the pencils into groups, 1 group for each child. So we have 5 groups. So we've put it into a bar and we need to think how many items are going into each. 20 divided by 5 groups. Now we know 5 times what equals 20? Hope you're saying 4. Therefore, we have 4 items in each block. Each child gets 4 pencils. One more. Fred bakes 18 biscuits. He shares the biscuits equally between himself and 5. Some of you get caught up in class when this happens. Himself and 5 friends. Therefore, there are 6 groups because it's not just 5 of his friends. He wants some himself because he's cooked them. He's put in the hard work. So there are 6 groups and 18 biscuits. So how many biscuits does each child receive? We know there are 18 groups altogether. Let's watch them go on very slowly, adding up to 18. And as I said, we know there are 6 groups, 5 friends and Fred himself. So let's have a look at the bars. How many biscuits does each child receive? We're going to be doing 18 divided by 6. Now we know that 6 times 3 equals 18 because we know our 3 times table. We might not know our 6 times table, but we know our 3 times table. And therefore 18 divided by 6 must equal 3. Let's see them split into the bars. Each child gets 3 biscuits, and I'm thinking if you eat more than 3 biscuits, you might feel a bit sick. So, multiple choice questions. There are 6 questions, no time limit. Let's get going. Choose the correct statement to match the cube model. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups and 2 items in each group. So we have 2 biscuits divided between 16 children. No, there's not 16 groups. Do we have 16 biscuits divided by 8 children? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have 2 in each group. So we know that 2 times 8 equals 16. So this one must be correct. I'm just going to do 3 of these because where there's lots of slides. Choose the correct statement. We've got 3 groups, and in each group we have 5 items. So we know that there aren't 5 sandwiches divided into 15 plates because we only have 3 groups. Are there 15 sandwiches? Well, if we do 5, 10, 15, yes, there are 15 sandwiches divided by between 3 plates. Yes, there are 3 groups. So it must be this one. Final one. We have 4 groups, and in each group we have 6. So we know that 6 times 4 is 24. Therefore, we have 24 apples, and they're divided into 4 groups or 4 bags. Okay. Now, if you want to log on or pause the screen to do this one, or log in and do all of them, then that would be really good. But I'm going to move on. We can also use a bar model to show the total number of items and the number of groups in a word problem. We might have 2 bars. This is how we learnt it in school. Lynn collects 36 stickers. She puts equal number of stickers on each page of her sticker album. Her album has 12 pages, so we might have 1 bar that's 36 and another equal bar that's 12, or split it into 12, and therefore we can find out how many are in each group because we want to know how much is in one. We can label all of them. Okay, so we're doing 36 stickers. We know we have 12 pages, so we know we have to do 36 divided by 12. And if you know that 12 times what equals 36, 12 times 3 equals 36. So each page has 3 stickers. Here's another example. Mr. Jones needs to create 5 identical crowns for the school play. He has 55 jewels, and he wants to use all of them. How many jewels are on each crown? So we know there are 55 jewels altogether. So on the top of this bar, we need 55. And we know we have 5 crowns. So we need to split the bar into 5. Then we need to think how many are in each part of our bar. So how many is in one? And then we know they must be equal for each group. 55 divided by 5. Now we know 5 times what equals 55. Hope you're all saying 5 times 11 equals 55. So 11 jewels on each crown. Okay, you can pause the screen and try this. I'm going to show you. We've got 4 here and it's split into 2. So we know that there are 4 items and it's split into 2 groups. There are 6 here and we need to split it into 2. So we know there are 6 items shared between 2 groups. And finally, there's 12 items and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups to split it into. So 12 items shared between 4 groups. So we know the total number of items in this whole bar is 12. We know we're going to split the bar into 4 parts because there's 4 groups. And now we need to think about the calculation we're going to do for one part. 12 divided by 4. Now I know 4 times 3 equals 12. So 12 divided by 4 equals 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. We'll do one more. 24 items shared between 3 groups. So I put 24 as my total bar. And then I want to split the bar into 3 parts because there's 3 groups. And then I need to work out one part, which will be 24 divided by 3. I know 3 times 8 equals 24. So I know 8 must go into this box. And I can work backwards, try that by going 8, 16, 24. And I know I've got the right answer. Okay, we're not going to do the last one. Some division problems tell us the total number of items and the number of items in each group. So, shopkeeper has 28 bananas. She wants to sell the bananas in bags of 4. So she wants 4 items in each bag. So we've got to work out how many bags that makes. We know the total number of items are 28, but we don't know the number of groups. So we know that there are 4 items in each group, so we can show one little bar for 4. And then we need to think how many would make the whole bar. So we need to do 28 divided by 4. Now I know that 4 times 8 equals 28. No, 4 times 8 equals 32. I know 4 times 7 equals 28. Therefore, we have 7 groups. And we can put that into our bar model to show that the shopkeeper can fill 7 bags. Let's do one more example. A factory packs 3 tennis balls into each tube. They have 60 tennis balls, so they want to know how many tubes they need if 3 are in each one. So we know the total would be 60, and we know that there are 3 in one tube, so we can draw one little bar with 3. And then we need to think about the calculation we're doing. We know there are 60 balls. We know we can split it into groups of 3, so we want to know how many groups there are. So we can do 60 divided by 3. Now we know 3 times 20, 20, 40, 60 would be equal. So therefore we can have 20 groups of 3. Okay, we're not going to go through that one. So we have 20 items in total with 10 items in each group. So the total needs to go at the top with 20. Now I know that one bar will have, one part of the bar, will have 10 in each. There's 10 items in each group. And therefore, I know that 20 divided by 10, if I had 2 groups of 10, I would get 20. So we must have 2 groups. Okay, I'm going to do one more. We have 18 items in total, so that must go at the top. It's the biggest number, remember. Biggest number always goes at the top of your bar model. We have 6 items in each group. So we'd have 6 in one group. I need to work out how many groups I have. So I would do 18 divided by 6. Now I know 6 times 3 equals 18. 6, 12, 18. So therefore I know that 18 divided by 6 equals 3. I have 3 groups of 6 to get 18. I'm not going to go through the rest. We can use bar models when division word problems require more than one calculation. Okay, we're just going to go through one example. This is quite tricky. If you don't understand it totally, then you can watch the video again to see if you can understand it a little bit more, or you can give it your best shot. That's all we ever ask. So Mrs. Patel buys a tin of 96 biscuits. Okay, there are eight tables in the classroom and 4 children at each table. How many biscuits does each child receive? So first, I need to know how many biscuits go onto each table. So I want to say there are 96 biscuits in total, and there are 8 tables. So I would do 96 divided by 8. And I know 8 times 12 equals 96, so 96 divided by 8 must equal 12. So there are 12 biscuits on each table. But now I need to think there are 4 children at each table. So we've got 12 on each table, and we've got 4 children on each table, 4 parts. So we split it into 4, and then we would do 12 divided by 4. I know 4 times 3 equals 12, so 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So each child would get 3 biscuits. Final one. 8 children are painting 72 clay pots to sell at their school fair. They have a green, a yellow, and red paint. Altogether, they need an equal number of pots for each colour. How many pots does each colour, if they are to share the painting equally, how many pots of each colour should each child paint? Okay, now, if you pause this, you can give it a go on your own by drawing bar models on a piece of paper. I'm going to quickly go through the answer, but don't worry if you don't get it because it's a really tricky word problem. This is probably year 4 work. You're nearly in year 4 now though, aren't you? So we have 72 clay pots and 8 children, okay? There are 3 different coloured pots. So I know that if there's 72 and children, each child would get 72 divided by 8, which is 9 pots. Each child gets 9 pots. Now, each child needs an equal number of green, yellow, and red pots. So if there are 8 children and they all have 9 each, they need 9 divided by 3 colours, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So they would need 3 green pots, 3 yellow pots, and 3 red pots. Okay. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I know it was a long one, but it's a very important one. And tomorrow we'll be moving on to another part of our multiplication and division subject. Enjoy the rest of your day.